Taurus, there's a force growing around you right now. You may not be able to see it yet, but it's there. It's growing stronger with each passing hour. And this week, it will reach a point where it will no longer be possible to ignore it. No matter how hard you try to keep things the way they've always been, no matter how tightly you cling to your comfort zone, something very powerful is coming your way, and when it arrives, it will change everything. You've been feeling it, haven't you? That strange sensation in the air, as if the universe itself were breathing differently around you. That subtle uneasiness you've been trying to ignore, hoping it would pass. It's your energetic system detecting the approach of something powerful, something that will shake the very foundations you've so carefully built to feel safe and in control. For years, you've organized your life to minimize unpleasant surprises. You've created routines, established patterns, and built walls of predictability around yourself, and it worked. It gave you the sense of security you value so much. But now, something is coming that will break through all those walls as if they were made of paper. Not to destroy you, to free you from a prison you yourself built without realizing it. What I'm going to reveal in the next few minutes will prepare you to recognize exactly when this force arrives, how it will manifest in your life, and most importantly, how you can work with it instead of fighting it. Because fighting what's coming would be like trying to stop a river with your hands. It's possible for a few seconds, but eventually the water finds its way. And when it does, it comes with much greater force than if you had simply allowed it to flow naturally. Are you prepared to discover that the stability you so desperately seek may be on the other side of this transformation you so fear? This isn't an ordinary week in your life, Taurus. This is the week where years of silent preparation finally manifest in a visible and tangible way. You've been preparing for this moment without even knowing it. Every experience you've lived, every challenge you've faced, every small change you've endured and then embraced has been strengthening you to be ready when something truly powerful arrives. And the time has come. I'm talking about sudden revelations that will completely reshape your perception of reality. Moments where you'll look in the mirror and think, who is this person? And where has they been hiding all this time? The force that's approaching has a very specific quality. It accepts no negotiation. It's not something you can postpone until you feel more ready. It's not something you can break down into small doses to make it more palatable. It's all or nothing. It's now or never. And as frightening as this may seem to your Taurian nature, which prefers slow and controlled change, there's a deep wisdom in this urgency. Because you've waited long enough. You've hidden long enough. You've limited yourself long enough. Can you sense a much more powerful version of yourself, practically screaming to be unleashed? Taurus, what's happening this week isn't a cosmic accident. It's the result of a perfect alignment between who you've become internally and the opportunities the universe is ready to offer. For a long time, you may have felt like you were living below your potential, as if there was something more waiting for you. But you couldn't access it. This week marks the end of that wait. The force coming your way brings three specific things: a revelation of your true personal power, an opportunity that will require complete courage, and a change in your external circumstances that will reflect the internal transformation you've undergone. These three things will happen interconnectedly, each amplifying the others, creating a ripple effect that will irreversibly transform your life. For Tauruses born between April 20th and April 30th, this strength will manifest primarily through the discovery of talents or abilities you never knew you possessed. Something that has always been latent within you will awaken with surprising intensity. For those born between May 1st and 10th, the focus will be on an opportunity related to work or life purpose that will appear unexpectedly and require a quick decision. And for those born between May 11th and 20th, transformation will occur in the area of relationships and connections, with someone very important entering your life or an existing relationship undergoing a profound evolution. But regardless of when you were born All Tauruses will experience one thing in common this week, the feeling of finally awakening to who they truly are. As if until now, you've been in standby mode, functioning at only a fraction of your full capacity. And suddenly, all systems activate at once, all abilities connect, all potential becomes accessible. It's a feeling that's simultaneously electrifying and terrifying because you realize there's no going back to the limited version of yourself you knew before. Are you ready to take on the responsibility that comes with accessing your full power? The reason I use the word caution in the title isn't to scare you, it's to alert you to the intensity of what's coming. When something very powerful happens in your life, you need to be prepared not only to receive that force, but to channel it constructively. It's like the difference between being struck by lightning and knowing how to use electricity. The energy's the same, but the outcome depends entirely on how you receive and direct it. This week, you'll discover you have a capacity for influence and impact you never knew you possessed. Your words will carry more weight. Your decisions will have broader consequences. Your presence will affect people more profoundly. With this kind of power comes greater responsibility. And that's why you need to be careful. Not to protect yourself from what's coming, but to consciously use the power that will be available to you. Over the next few days, pay special attention to moments when you feel instinctively drawn to do something different from your usual. When you feel an urge to talk to someone specific, to go somewhere you don't normally go, to make a decision that seems risky but resonates deeply with you. These impulses aren't random. They're your intuition guiding you to the encounters and experiences that will catalyze your transformation. Also, pay attention to the reactions of those around you. You may notice that they begin to see you differently, even before you fully understand what has changed within you. It's as if they can sense the growing strength in your energy before you're even fully aware of it. Don't ignore these subtle feedbacks. They are confirmation that the transformation has already begun, even if you haven't yet felt the full impact. Taurus, one of the most important things you need to understand about what's happening is that this force isn't here to destroy the stability you value so much. It's here to give you access to a much deeper, more real kind of stability. Instead of relying on external circumstances to feel secure, you'll discover an inner solidity that nothing can shake. Instead of needing to control everything around you to feel good, you'll find a peace that comes from trusting your ability to handle any situation that arises. The security you'll discover this week isn't the fragile security that needs to be constantly protected and maintained. It's the security that comes from knowing who you truly are and what you're capable of. It's the confidence that comes from having experienced your own power and knowing you can access it whenever you need. It's the tranquility of someone who no longer needs to fear change because they know they have the inner resources to transform any change into an opportunity. What you'll experience this week will show you that you're far more resilient and adaptable than you ever imagined. That your true strength lies not in your ability to avoid challenges, but in your ability to navigate them and emerge positively transformed. That your true Taurian nature isn't about inflexible resistance, but about a deep, sustainable force that can move mountains when consciously directed. During this transformative week, you'll also discover that you possess a much more powerful personal magnetism than you ever knew. People will be drawn to you in inexplicable ways. Opportunities will arise as if magnetically pulled into your reality. Resources you need will appear at just the right time, often in unexpected ways. It's as if you've discovered you've always had a superpower, but we're only using a fraction of it. This magnetism isn't something you need to force or fake. It will emanate naturally from you when you're aligned with your true essence. And once you experience what it's like to live from this alignment, you'll never want to go back to the diminished version of yourself that accepts crumbs when you could have the whole feast. Are you ready to discover that you've always been entitled to so much more than you've been allowing into your life? The incoming force will also bring a mental clarity you've never experienced before. Decisions that seemed impossible to make will become obvious. Situations that confused you will make perfect sense. People and circumstances will reveal themselves for what they truly are, without the filters and distortions that previously obscured your perception. It's as if someone has cleaned the lens through which you see the world, revealing details and colors that were always there but that you couldn't see. With this clarity comes the responsibility to act on what you see. It will no longer be possible to pretend you don't know when something or someone isn't aligned with your highest good. It will no longer be possible to hide behind excuses or procrastination when you know exactly what needs to be done. The coming force will eliminate all your escapes from the truth, bringing you face to face with your real choices and their real consequences. This week marks the end of an era in your life where you could afford to be passive, to wait for things to improve on their own, to avoid making difficult decisions. From now on, you will be operating at a level of consciousness where every choice matters, where every action has power, where every day is an opportunity to create the reality you truly desire. What impresses me most about the transformation happening to you is that it will reveal that you've always had the keys to the life you wanted, but you were treating them like decorative objects. This week, you'll finally understand what these keys are for and have the courage to use them to open all the doors that were locked. The approaching force is not external to you. It is your own strength, which has been dormant, finally awakening. It is your own power, which you kept on standby, being activated. It is your own majesty, which you hid out of modesty or fear, finally emerging into the light. You are not being invaded by something alien. You are being reunited with aspects of yourself that have always existed, but which you didn't know how to access. In the coming days, you may experience moments of emotional intensity that you can't fully explain. You may feel waves of excitement mixed with inexplicable nostalgia. You may have flashes of memories of dreams you'd abandoned, now returning with renewed urgency. You may feel a different physical energy, as if your body is preparing to support a more powerful version of yourself. All of these sensations are normal and part of the activation process that is taking place. Your entire system, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, is calibrated to operate at a higher frequency. It's as if you were a musical instrument that had been out of tune for years and was finally being tuned by a master. The process can be intense, but the end result will be perfect harmony between all parts of who you are. During this week of transformation, be kind to yourself. Allow yourself to feel everything you're feeling without judgment. Give yourself space to process the changes that are happening. And most importantly, trust the process. Even when you don't fully understand what's happening, your soul knows exactly what it's doing, even when your mind can't quite follow. Taurus, what's coming isn't just a change in your life. It's a revolution in your way of being, a rise in your level of consciousness, an activation of potentials that have been dormant for decades. And all of this will happen this week in a concentrated and powerful way because the time is right and you are finally ready to receive. The person you will be at the end of this week will look back and hardly believe they were once the person you are today. Not because the person you are today is bad, but because the evolution will be so significant that it will seem almost impossible for both versions to exist in the same body. It's like the difference between a caterpillar and a butterfly, a transformation so complete that it creates an entirely new being. And just as a butterfly can't revert back to a caterpillar, you can't return to a limited version of yourself once you've experienced your full potential. This irreversibility may seem daunting, but it's actually a gift because it means you'll never again have to settle for less than you deserve. You'll never again have to accept a small life when an extraordinary life is available to you. The opportunities that will arise this week are not coincidences. They are direct results of the energy you are emanating as you awaken to your true power. The universe responds to our internal vibration, and when you begin vibrating at the frequency of your magnificence, the universe has no choice but to send you experiences that match that frequency. Prepare to be surprised by how quickly your external reality can change when your internal reality shifts. Prepare to discover that you have far more control over your circumstances than you ever imagined. And prepare to understand that the life you always wanted wasn't in some distant future. It was always available, just waiting for you to become the person capable of living it. This week, Taurus, something very powerful will happen to you. But now you know that this force isn't something that comes to attack you. It's something that comes to awaken you. It doesn't come to destroy you. It comes to rebuild you into a much more powerful and authentic version. It doesn't come to take away your security. It comes to give you access to a real security that no one can touch. Be careful, yes, but not the kind of care that comes from fear. The kind of care that comes from knowing you're carrying something precious and want to handle it wisely. The kind of care that comes from understanding that with great power comes great responsibility. The kind of care that comes from knowing you're about to affect not only your own life, but the lives of everyone around you in profound and positive ways. Are you ready to become the force of transformation you've always had the potential to be? Share in the comments if you've been feeling this sense that something big is brewing, this restlessness you can't explain. Your experiences will help other Tauruses recognize the signs in their own lives. Subscribe to the channel now, because this week is just the beginning of an extraordinary journey of self-discovery and empowerment. You'll need guidance on how to integrate the changes that will occur, how to consciously use your new level of power, how to navigate the new opportunities that will arise. Something very powerful is coming. You've been warned, not to protect yourself, but to prepare yourself, to consciously receive the gift the universe is about to place in your hands, to finally discover what you're truly capable of when you stop limiting yourself and allow your true nature to fully manifest. This is your week, Taurus, your week of awakening, your week of power, your week to become who you were always destined to be.